Hi, everyone. My name is Katie Bird. I'm research lead intern here at HBCU First Make the First Move video series. And today we're going to be discussing managing time and money at an HBCU. I'm here with my special guest. He's a Morehouse student, business administration major with concentration in marketing. And he's also the fundraising lead intern here at HBCU First. I'm proud to welcome Kameron Bain. Hi, Kameron.
Hey, Katie. Well, when I first started the financial aid process, both of my parents knew how to do the financial aid application. And I guess like how parents always do, they kind of go back to the time that they remember doing whatever it is you're doing when they were in college. So that was a bit of a challenge for me to kind of work through that with them. Of course, my school is pretty expensive, especially when I was a freshman. So it was easy for me to apply and set my financial aid up, but it was a lot harder for my parents to kind of understand like how financial aid worked, in relationship to my, to like all of my grants and stuff like that. I also had a few different scholarships, and I didn't realize that would take my financial aid down, like as I got them. So, eventually over time, we kind of had it like down packed. We knew what to do every year. Really, I just ended up doing it every year now that I'm a senior, and that cost eventually went down when I moved off campus. It was cut in half when I moved somewhere else in Atlanta. I didn't have to live on those on-campus dorms, so that was a lot easier for them to kind of conceptualize like how much it actually costs for me to go to school.
Awesome. So, since you're a senior as well, I'm sure you have a lot of hindsight on what life is like for other students. How common was it for other students to have jobs at your institution?
All right, that's a good question. I know a lot of people had a lot of different ways they make money throughout the semester. I know for me, when I was a freshman, a lot of people, like if you didn't have a scholarship, they gave you stipends. A lot of people had enough scholarship money sometimes to like get a really big refund check. So like they used to get like 15, some people got 8,000, some people got 7. So a lot of people use that refund check money to live on throughout the semester, right? That was one person. When I stayed in grades, I was in an honors dorm, so a lot of people in my dorm had a lot of scholarship money, but a lot of us didn't, so at the same time. But the ones that did, they usually had stipends, during the semester. They had those big refund checks. And then for the folks that did not, a lot of people were able to kind of, once they got their internships, especially on my sophomore year, a lot of people that worked at different places had a lot of money saved up from the summertime. So I know like my first internship, I didn't get paid the most, but I was working throughout school. I was working through the regular fall and spring semester, and working through the summertime, and they were all internships related to my field. And you probably know, like in Atlanta, the hip hop industry is really big here. So a lot of people who were, at least in the marketing department that I knew, were getting really easy gigs, with artists, with different like creative collectives. They were getting like photography jobs and stuff like that throughout the semester all the time. And I noticed that a lot of people were really able to take advantage of that while they were in school working. And that kind of took that cap off of how much they could make during the school year. Because some people got like really big music videos. Some people got like really small stuff at a higher frequency. So it's just a lot of different places that people worked, at least in the marketing department while they were younger. And so most people do have jobs while they're in school. Now, the type of job that they have is just varying. For me, I'm a real estate agent. I became an agent when I was a junior, and that's a rarity at Morehouse. And I guess for students in general that are like 19, 17, I was selling houses before I knew other people. I didn't buy a house myself. I was my parents. I was selling people, 5, 6 houses at a time. But when I was doing that my junior year, by that time, most people had started working jobs like sales roles, like some people worked at like car lots, um, golf courses, places like that, where people work. And because you didn't have the time, you had to get the job that gave you the money for the time you had to do the work. So when I was a real estate agent, I can only show houses on the weekend, So in that time frame, I had to do all of these showings on the weekends when I was a junior, and eventually those showings that I might have spent, you know, 16 hours or so working in real estate. I was thinking in my mind when I was working those jobs, like I need to get like $5,000, $6,000, 8, 10. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So when I did that job at that time, I noticed that a lot of other people were doing the same type of work. So it's and I guess it depends on the school you go to. If your school's not as expensive, like I know a lot of people that go to school at Georgia State, they're able to it's not such a financial burden on students throughout the semester to have money. So they just kind of work those like grocery store, and some people still do that too. They work at like the grocery store, at the library, or some people work at the club, but most of us try to work at places where you can get the most money for the least amount of time. That's the goal. A lot of people do that type of work, and some people's parents, I had a lot of friends who just had credit cards, and they, their parents just gave them credit card limits, and that's how they did it. So, it's a lot of different experiences, but for me, I didn't necessarily have a credit card. I just wanted my own money. When I was doing that work on the weekends, I really started to take my schooling serious, and like my studies, because I knew I didn't have the weekend to party anymore when I was a senior. So I had to be a lot more strategic about what I was doing on the weekend. Like I wasn't just hanging out on Saturdays. Like if I was going to go to brunch and do a whole thing, then I was going to do the whole thing on this weekend. You see what I'm saying? And then next weekend I was doing open houses because I had my friends over. So stuff like that starts becoming normal as you get older, throughout your matriculation, and then the time matrix that you use to do everything is a lot more, a lot more streamlined. Like it's not so much like, you stay out to 4 a.m. as a freshman, on the promenade, just like kicking it. Like, no, because now people work. So that's how school is, while you're working in school.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing your experiences with us. And I thank you all for watching. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.